Take a big breath in, reach it up, and lean over to one side and the other. One more time. And take it back to center. Press straight up, pull your shoulder blades down, and let's circle out the shoulder girdle. And reverse direction. And take it down to elbow circles. There we go. Squeeze those elbows together. And let's turn that into backstroke arms. And swing it out. So if anyone had doubts about going back to the earliest workouts after our last workout a couple of weeks ago, I was so sore. It's good to go back to the basics. They never get old. Okay, let's come down to our hips. A little tick-tock, check in with how everything is moving. And then hula hoop. 3, 4, let's do 2 more and then we'll reverse. And the other way. Two more, and then we go to figure 8. Okay, nice and groovy. And reverse. Okay, let's bring our hands down to our knees, feet maybe hip width a little bit wider, and let's circle it out. Circling around the edges of your feet, from the ball of your foot to your heel and side to side. Yeah, knee joint get nice and lubed. The ankle joint too, and let's reverse direction. And let's warm up the ankles just a little bit more. Ball of the foot into the floor. You can either go side to side or make circles. Check in, you can do both. See what your feet need, go in both directions. And let's switch sides. So side to side, across the ball of your foot, or nice big circles. My ankles still feel like they want to pop. So we've got a lot of squats coming at us in this first set. So let's do a little prancing, working through your foot, checking with your ankles and your arches, toes working. And then let's bring our feet together into first position and center yourself as you lift up. And then let's step it wide and come down into a squat and lift one ankle up, the other ankle up. And then both ankles. Feels like a workout. Let's do 2 more. And bring your heels down, sink down a little bit lower, drop one shoulder and the other. Let your back stretch it out. And come back to center and sink down a little bit lower. Check that you can pick up your toes off the floor. You don't have to keep them there, but just helps you see where your weight is as you're squatting. Side to side is good. Keep warming up that groin area, the inner thigh muscles. See if you can come down a little bit lower. We're not playing limbo. Let's bring our hands down to the floor. Hips up and down. Bottoms up and down. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. And let's turn your feet forward and take it side to side. You can keep your hands down or bring them up onto your thigh. And hold it to one side, little pulses. And over to the other side, same thing, more pulses. Come back to center, walk your feet in, and roll it up. Roll your shoulders just a little bit more. And find your balance on one side. We're going to take one leg out, point your toe down, and wiggle that ankle side to side. Make some circles. And let's go to the other side. So moving just from the lower leg, from the ankle, trying not to wiggle your whole leg. Good. Back to side one, rotating from the hip and lifting up. Good. And let's go to the other side and up. And if you can set your fitness tracker while we're doing this, more power to you. Thanks for the reminder. Okay. Nice big hip circles. And let's do some knee tucks. So pull your knee in, let your lower back and your middle back round. And let's do some butt kicks. Getting the legs nice and warm. Two more. Good. Okay. So today's workout, our first set, we have Romanian deadlift, squats, and lightweight floor work, both pose working through the chest. So we'll need heavy weights, and it'll be a little bit of a progression from where we were 2 weeks ago. Okay, so one weight, we're going to start with 1 1/4 squats. I always do them as goblet squats. If you are more comfortable with your feet parallel and sinking down, this is as slow as I can go for it. I go a little bit wider with my toes turned out. You do you. And we're going to go for 10 this first set, sinking down and up. Adjust your feet when you need to. Push through your whole foot to come up. And 10. Okay. Grabbing a second weight. We're going to do a classic Romanian deadlift, which is just from the top down. So imagine you're holding on to the handles of a wheelbarrow if that's more comfortable, or you can put your hands in front of your thighs. Roll your shoulders back and down. And we're going to hinge back and come up. No rounding in the back. And again, we're going for 10 this set. Easing into it. I suppose depending on how much weight you have, it may or may not feel like you're easing into it. And I've lost count, so let's do one more. Good. Okay, let's put the weights down. We're gonna go super light and come down on the floor into boat pose. So start with your heels down, knees bent. Roll your shoulders back. One little weight in each hand, or a water bottle or whatever you got. We're going to lean back onto your sacrum so you're just balanced and bring your feet up. Then we're going to take the weights and bring them together. So palms up, it's an underhand squeeze. Abs are engaged. 8, 10, 2 more. And we're done with the first round of the first set. I'm gonna warming up. Take off one layer, grab a drink, stretch what needs to be stretched. We'll get ready. We have 2 more times to go through this. Second round, we are doing more repetitions. Third round, we're turning the first 2 moves into power moves. So it's kind of like we're going through a whole month's progression over the 3 sets that we're doing. If one weight for your goblet squat isn't enough, use 2 weights. Okay, find your foot position that works for you. Grab the weights. You can keep them on your shoulders, keep them at your chest. And let's go for 12. Sinking it down for 12. Good. Four more. Good. 3. And 1. And bring it up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Hips are still working. Feet shoulder width apart, shoulders down. We're going for 12 deadlifts. Get that nice big stretch through the glutes and the hamstrings. We're not reaching for the floor. Three more. Nice. And 1. Now let's put those heavy weights down. Come down onto the floor with your little weights. Okay. Settling back onto your sacrum, rolling your shoulders back so your chest stays high. Palms up, feet up if you can. Feet can stay down if you need to, as long as your abs stay engaged. Let's go for 10. Squeeze those weights together. Feel your chest muscles working. One more. Okay, let's bring those weights down. Grab a drink. We're going to take a little bit of a longer break this time, maybe 45 seconds. And then we're going to add a little twist to all those moves. Now's the time. If you need heavier weights, lighter weights, adjust your weights. Sometimes when you're holding boat pose for that last one, the light weights are all you can handle because you're also trying so hard to stabilize. But maybe, it's been a long time since we've done this workout, maybe you can go a little bit heavier. I'm a little limited to what my weight ranges are where I am now, but Maybe instead of 2 pounds, you can go 3 pounds. 3 pounds, you can try 5 pounds. 5 pounds felt light. Try 7 to see what works. All right. So the twist. It's no real twist. It's not a literal twist. We're going to do 1 1/4 with a power move at the end. So it's going to be down, little pulse down, up fast. You're going down slow, holding it there for a little pulse and popping it up fast. So we're doing 12 of these. Down, pulse, and up. Good. And good, last one. Okay. Adjust your weights if you need them. We'll go in about 15 seconds. We're going to do the same thing with our deadlift. We're not starting just yet. We're going to go down, little pulse from the hips. Make sure you're pulling from your hips and not your low back. Don't get hurt. And then we're going to power up fast. So down, little pulse, down, up. All from the hips. You should be able to squeeze your glutes, feel them working. Slow, slow, slow. Hold it there for the pulse and pop it up. Nice. Let's do 2 more. I've lost count. Last one. Let's come down on the floor. We might get through today's workout pretty fast. We're cruising. 8 pounds is a little much for doing this. 2 pounds is a little light, but we work with what we got. We'll make it happen. So finding your boat pose, sitting up tall, rocking back till you're just on that bony plate above your hips. Roll your shoulders back and down so your chest comes up. Feet come up. We're going to do 1.5 pulses here too. So up halfway, down, up all the way. 2, 3, 4, 5. Abs are working hard. Okay. 2 more. Up halfway, up all the way. Up halfway, up all the way. Nice work. My gosh, I'm not used to working where there are mosquitoes. Okay, let's shake those arms out. We come on hands and knees and do some cat-cow, loosen everything up, kill those mosquitoes. And I will tell you what's in step 2. We have our 1 1/4 step back lunge, just holding that down position a little bit longer, getting a little bit more depth and power. Slow mountain climbers, which we've done periodically, but they're always more challenging when you go slow. And then a side-to-side crunch. This is really a short workout today. How did we make it last an hour? First time we went through. What was I doing? Anyway, so let's grab your weights. This is all in the legs. The weights are just giving you the added resistance. And we're going to stay on one side and then switch. So we're going to step back Actually, no, I lied. We're going to switch every time. So we're going to do 1 1/4 one side, 1 1/4 the other side, and we're going to do 10. So we're counting to 20. So sinking down, quarter pulse and up, down, quarter pulse and up. 2, 3. Stay nice and tall. Last set or last 2, however you're counting. Good. Weights go down. Do some butt kicks or a quick quad stretch. Let your thighs get a little rest. So come down on the floor. Plank position. If you need to do this on an incline, do it on an incline. You do you, right? Here we are. Find your plank, nice and strong. Abs engaged, hips engaged, chest and back engaged, armpits squeezing in. And we're going to take one knee out to your elbow, out to the other elbow. We're doing 10 sets. This is 4. 7, 8. Don't lose your plank. And when you're all done, come into child's pose. And let your back rest and round. So next is a side-to-side crunch. You are welcome to make this however you need to make it. A regular crunch, add the side-to-side. If having your hands behind your head with your elbows pulled back is still too hard on your neck, try putting your thumbs on your face and supporting the front of your skull and the back of your skull that way, and see if that helps. But we're going to come all the way down onto your back and settle that back into the floor. You can keep your knees down, or you can, well, yeah, let's keep them down. So you can press into your feet. It looks like this. You're going to lift up, tip to one side, tip to the other side, and go back down. So it's like adding a side crunch, but we're laying on our back. Elbows are way out to the side so you can't crank on your neck and hurt yourself. So we're lifting with your abs, peeling the shoulder blades up and off the floor. 2, 3, keep your low back pressed into the floor. Imagine there's an orange or tennis ball under your chin. So we're not tucking, which I think I may have been doing in the very beginning. You want to keep that space between your chin and your chest. And if the twist or the side to side makes no sense to you, just make it a little crunch where you're peeling your shoulders up off the floor and lowering them back down. And I've lost count because I've been talking the story of this morning. Let's do one more for good measure. Up, side, side, and down. Hug your knees in, let your back rest. We're going to take about a minute, minute and a half here, and we'll start all over again. Make little circles. Maybe some windshield wipers. Baby, a drink of water. You do you. Take another 45 seconds or so. Your body absorb all the work you've been doing. And when we get up, we'll find our weights and go back into our 1 1/4 step back lunges. So coming back up to standing, let's ease back into this. You have weights in your hands. We're not on the floor anymore. Let's go side to side and just see what your side muscles feel like after doing those crunches. Okay, and then setting up. We're going for 20 1 1/4 reverse lunges or step back lunges. Face the other way this time. And we'll go down, little pulse, get a nice big stretch on the front of your thigh through the hip flexor. If you're doing them like this, you might be building some leg strength, but you're missing out on all the stretch and the length that we want in the muscle. If you're finding you're having a hard time doing this without flopping forward, bring the weights up onto your shoulders. One more set. This is 19, and this is 20. Let's bring the weights down. Come down onto the floor. Maybe let's start in an up dog and keep stretching those hip flexors. Squeeze the booty, look up to the sky. Slow mountain climbers. Last time we took our knees to the outside of your elbow. This time we're going to bring it straight to the same side elbow. So slow motion, no running. Going for about 10 on each side. And when you're all done, rock back into child's pose. And about 10 seconds, we'll roll over. Let your back rest, let your legs rest. And make your way over onto your back. We'll do another round of side-to-side crunches. So you really want to think about pulling your elbows down to the floor, out to the wall, to the side of you, and not pulling up like this. There's a lot of torque on your neck. You want to protect your neck, keep it neutral. Let your elbows stay out to the side. Your hands are just supporting your head. Okay, right now my back is arched. You put your hand underneath your low back. Check to see that if you're arched or not. And what I want you to do is go into a tilt if you are, and press your back down into the floor. So your back flat on the floor. Take a big breath to inhale and prepare. On the exhale, lift up and go side to side, center and down. 2, 3. Doesn't have to be a big lift. It's not the size of the lift, it's the quality of the lift and what you're feeling. Your side should be working, your abs should be working. And your hands behind your head to be helping minimize strain in your neck. And when you're all done, hug those knees in. Thank your abs for holding you up all day long every day. And your back and your hips and your knees. Your ankles and your feet. Make little circles and we'll go into set 3 or round 3 of our second set. And this was the whole workout. 2 sets of 3 exercise, or 3 sets of, getting all my terms mixed up. Send me away for a week and I lose it. So 2 sets of exercises, 3 rounds each. We're going into our 3rd round of the second set, and then we have a little finisher with super light weights. We'll do some stretching and we'll be done early. So coming back up to standing, we'll go in about 20 seconds. Find your weights. And play around with it. So if you've been having your weights here and you find yourself doing this, if you can see yourself in your camera, on your screen, in a mirror, in a window, you're doing this, try bringing the weights up here and see if that helps, because it's a lot harder to fall forward when the weights are on your shoulders. And that way you get the length through your hip flexor, which is what we want. So let's do 1 1/4, slow and up. You want a little power, go faster at the top. Oops, we're not switching. There we go. Make sure you're coming all the way back up to standing. Good. A few more. Good. Let's bring the weights down. Circle out your wrists. Get them ready. Round 3. We're going to add a little twist. So we have gone outside. We've gone straight 2. This next round, we're going to cross under. You can do that with your knee. You can do that with your whole leg. Find your plank first, and then kick under, or reach with your knee for the opposite elbow. And when you're done, child's pose. Let your back stretch, let your neck relax. Take about 15, 20 seconds here. Then roll over onto our backs. And we'll finish with our side-to-side crunches. And then we have a little finisher and some stretching. Tell you, my grandma went on vacation too. You can't finish and then have a finisher, can you? There we go. So on your back, let's do some pelvic tilts. So if you try to arch your back, your pelvis is going to rock forward. Or you try to flatten your back, the pubic bone is going to come towards your body, towards your chest. Let's just rock a little bit and make sure you've got that movement there and that you know what you're feeling. So when you're in that anterior tilt, you have a lot of room under your back. Posterior tilt, you're flat to the floor. Let's get ourselves flat on the floor. Engage those abs into that drawstring around the hip bones and the lower spine. Get everything set. Imagine you've got an orange or tennis ball underneath your chin so you can't crunch. Elbows stay way out to the side. Last 10. Here we go. Lift it up, side, side, center, down. Up, side, side, center, down. 3, 4, 5, 6. Up, side, side, center, down. Up for 8, side, side, down. Keep your back down. 9. Last one. Up, side, side, center, down. Beautiful. Bring your knees into your chest. Let your back relax because we put a lot of pressure on it. Make little circles. We're not done. We still have our finisher. We're just hanging out here for a little while. Realize I'm scaring the hummingbirds, but not the mosquitoes. I wish it was the other way around. Here we go. Let's go into a pencil stretch. Stretch out those abs. Stretch your back muscles. And actually, since we have so much time, let's bend your knees. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Think about pressing your back into the floor. That shouldn't take a lot of pressure, just to keep it there. And all we're going to do is hold your back in place while we reach up over your head towards the floor. Let's do that 5 or 6 times. Checking in with shoulder mobility, side muscles. And this ties right into getting ready for doing the finisher. Couple more. Notice if you can do this without your back wanting to pop up. And let's take our arms out to the side and do some snow angel arms. You know, keep your fingertips, your forearms on the floor. Good. And then let's reach behind your legs, roll it up. And we're going to grab our teeny tiny lightweights or your little water bottles or cans of beans, whatever you got, and come up to standing. And we're going to finish with 3-weight traps. So you could do them seated like we did in the last class where we were bent over your thighs. I don't have a chair easily to access, or you can use your strong back and your abs and your hips to hold you. And three-way traps, roll your shoulders down. We're going to do eyes or Y's, thumbs up, T's, pinkies up, and to the back, palms up. But we're going to do both arms at the same time. So really set yourself into your hips so your legs are holding you, brace through your abs, and we're going to do as many as we can. Let's go. You're going your own pace. Y, T, palms up. Y, T, palms up. Usually by the time you get to about 12 or 15 at the very end of a workout, your shoulders are fried. Remember, you're pulling from your back. You haven't done a lot of back work today. So this is your back work. But might still be tired from all those muscles bracing. Let's do a few more. Still going? Yeah, we're still going. Do one more. And put weights down. Nice work. So let's do a standing cat-cow since we're standing. So let's feet hip width a little bit wider. Brace on your knees. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, let your back round. And then lengthen. Lift the tailbone, lift the crown of your head. Not worried about segmenting today. Just getting that movement. Good. And then take your feet wide. Let's do those shoulder drops like we do in the warm-up. Give your back a little bit more love. And then let's come down into a squat and just hold. Hold for a few seconds, not a few minutes. And shift your weight forward, shift your weight back. Notice where you're centered and balanced. And then see if you can sink down just a little bit lower, keeping your chest up, keeping your eyes up. And sink just a little bit lower. Maybe your elbows come inside your knees. Or your hands down onto the floor. We're going to shift our weight to one side and to the other. Step your feet a little bit wider. So you can come into the side lunge. And slowly go side to side. Nice. And come back over to the first side you were on and turn around. Let's turn this into a calf stretch. So that back leg, you're pushing your heel back towards whatever is behind you. And then let's bring your knee down and lift your body up and come into a hip flexor stretch. And we'll hold. If it feels good, you can take that same side arm up, create even more length through your hip flexors, through your side muscles. And we're going to stay here for 15 more seconds. And then let's back out of it and let that front leg go straight. You're going to be sitting back towards your heel. You may even end up on your heel. You can flatten your foot out if that feels better. All we want is a hamstring stretch on that front leg. If you reach for your toes and pull them up, you might get the stretch down into your calf. And we're going to hold this one also. 10 more seconds. And go a little deeper for 3, 2, 1. Bring that weight forward, back up into that stretch. Walk our hands around. And we'll go to side 2. So pushing back through your back heel, reaching for whatever's behind you. And drop your knee. And we'll come up into a hip flexor stretch. So if you're up, squeeze that booty, press forward, lift up and reach. 10 more seconds. Okay, and then come out of it. Sit back towards your heel. Straighten out your front leg. Reach for your toes or your ankles, whatever you can reach. Do a hamstring stretch on side 2. Go for 10 more seconds. Good. And then bring your weight forward. Press into your back leg. Let's turn it around. Bring your feet a little bit closer together, but we're still in a forward fold. Hold on to your elbows. And take your arms towards one leg and towards the other. Slowly, gently. You can stay in the middle too if that feels better to you. Let your head, neck, and shoulders relax. Let's go side to side. Hold on to one leg. Really getting a nice side stretch here. Whoop. Come over, go to the other side. And then back to center. See if you can get your hands on the floor, fingertips, knuckles, anything you got. Let your head hang down. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Let all the tension go. Let your back stretch and release. Keep nodding, shaking. Feel that length. Bring your hands onto your knees. Let's walk our feet in. And roll it up. Roll your shoulders. Bring those arms out. Maybe twist a little bit. Check out how everything is feeling. We're holding tension in some places where we haven't held it for a while. There we go. And then reach up. Make yourself long and tall. Give yourself a hand. And we are done for the day.